Everybody, before we get into today's Kentucky X Files episode, me and Tyler have something we want to share with you. We got this other show that we've been working on. We've been working our asses off at it. It is called The Dread Exitibus, and this is a suspense horror kind of podcast thing where we've written these like stories. We completely go in and voice act it, and we'll be adding more voice actors as we go. We're so bad at promoting our own stuff.
I'm normal at what I do at Kentucky X Files. I don't say shit. I mean, just
So here's a little teaser if you guys want to check it out, and then maybe if you are intrigued or you like it, go over and follow the Dread Exitibus and check it out and let us know what you think, and we appreciate it. So let's let them hear it.
Welcome, seekers, to an archive where the shadows whisper tales entwined with the unknown. I am the Archivist, your guide through these narratives of forgotten catastrophes, lives lost, and stories forgotten. Tread upon the haunted symphony of an offshore storm, the abyssal echoes of a lone pilot's descent. These unfortunate souls find their stories preserved within these walls, their endings lost were it not for this. Join me, intrepid seekers, as we traverse dimly lit pathways of suspense, horror, and the unexplained. The journey begins, and the terror within awaits your presence in the Dread Exitibus.
Man, it gives me cold chills. Like, ooh.
I just want to throw out there, I feel like we didn't explain. It is a somewhat improv / scripted podcast, fictional podcast. Each story will have be a duration of like episode, 2 episodes, or it could go any longer. We have currently just released 2 stories. 2 stories right now. So we got the Meridian Horizon, and then we got Dr. Lumley's tapes that are live right now. So please check it out. And we just launched the Dr. Lumley's tapes last night, and we're about to get into the next one. I can give you a little teaser. What do you think? Are we thinking the one that I've been working on that you want to do next?
Yeah, definitely, dude.
Okay, this is going to be an suspenseful one that we're going to be working on. It's based around World War II. A crew of a tank crew that basically find themselves in a very bad situation. Something is out in the woods,
Something,
if you will.
Something's out there. I don't know what it is.
I don't
know.
You
know. I don't know.
I don't know. I literally haven't finished the story.
Yeah.
To throw myself under the bus. This is something that Denny came up to me and he asked me, he's like, hey man, I really wanted to try to see if we can flush this out. We've had this idea for probably a while now, but we finally pushing forward and doing it. So
got at least give it some love. Actually try it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, give us your feedback. Yeah. I just want to know what we need to do to make it better, because it's a lot of fun making these stories come to life. And yeah, I don't know what else to say here. So I guess you guys enjoy your Kentucky X Files.
Hell yeah. So those guys are so handsome over there.
Yeah, right. I know that Tyler guy. He's pretty cool.
It's like Jason Momoa.
No, like fat cousin with diabetes.
All right, we appreciate you guys. We'll see you. Enjoy your episode. Little gadget sitting back there, plugged in. It controls all my cameras around the house. Right? A bunch of ants have found their way into the house and have been swarming that thing. They're swarming it. And I literally was like, guys, you gotta leave my shit alone. You know, I even put a little pile of sugar down, like, here, have this. They ignore it. whatever it is, they want that which is bullshit. Like they completely got inside it and filled it with themselves. So that's gone.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm not drinking ants. You know what I mean?
Right.
Hence why I'm drinking tea instead of coffee this morning. Nature. But yeah, dude, like, it's crazy. I'm like, why are they swarming this thing? There's nothing in it to eat. Like,
that is
it
weird.
A signal, you know?
I mean, it has to be something.
Yeah. So this is how we deal with. They say that AI is going to have to start with a robot with the intelligence of an ant. So all we got to do is put routers everywhere. They'll completely fuck them up.
I like it.
Yeah.
Or magnets.
Or magnets. Yeah.
I always thought I thought the one part in it was I can't remember what season it was, but Rick and Morty, he wanted to go. He had to go look for this delivery driver robot. And he's like, well, he went to like the robot wars. So the way to get into with all the robots, they're like intruder, and they're going to shoot him. But he he had that little like funnel on top of his head with a QR code. Oh, Commander. That's what I was like thinking. Like if you have like a QR code that overrides to make them think that like, oh, Commander.
I mean,
Yeah,
that's a scenario, isn't it? Like humans that are still allowed to be around have a code that they have to be able to see and identify. If you don't have that code, you're taken to the human farm. You go for the ride. Yeah.
he's gonna be
To take you to the playground.
Yeah.
Drop you off at grandma's.
Oh, yeah.
I don't got any more. That's all I had. I ran out. Yeah. That's all I had. I'm telling you, like anybody, if the robot uprising happens, you've heard it here first. This is it. The resistance.
Yeah, Viva la Renaissance. Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. It's pretty wild though. But that's the nature of it, I think. I'm trying to be very careful because I have a failing audio interface here, and if I move too much, it crashes my whole system.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. So this guy's out the door.
Yet again, proof that the electronics and technology is just destined to fail.
Yep.
What I mean, okay, so are they going to put planned obsolescence into these AI robots? Like, does Figure 01 have planned obsolescence built in?
Right.
Okay, so I had to go way back in time to explain it, but planned obsolescence stems from light bulbs.
Okay.
Right? Apparently, back in the day, light bulbs were built to where they wouldn't go out. Like, they just worked forever.
Yeah.
That's why we have things like the Edison bulb that have been burning for 100 and something years. What happened is that all these light bulb manufacturers got together at this conference somewhere, all the top brass, and they planned to put in planned obsolescence, basically creating light bulbs that will fail eventually. And they all have to submit a light bulb for testing off the assembly line. And if it lasts more than X amount of hours, they get fined for every hour it lasts, like a huge amount of money, right?
Jeez.
Right. So the planned obsolescence is built into pretty much everything we own. It's designed to only last so long, then fail, to cause you to want to go buy a new one. Because if you make perfect light bulbs that don't go out, you don't replace them.
Right. Yeah. That makes sense.
So if
I've heard
these,
this.
these AI robots are absolutely going to be marketable. There's no reason to create this and not sell it.
Wow. Yeah.
I just can't see it being viable for a lot of people at the like it couldn't be used as household. This is only like I would feel like industrial.
I would
You-
say assembly line. Assembly
Yeah.
line is where it's going to peak because the product you're working on is moving and not you. So any place you have work where the worker is stationary, this would be good. We obviously don't need them as in the service industry as salespeople because we have kiosks and things that work just fine. You know, so there's no need. There's no need for a robot to function. You don't need a physical thing in front of you that looks like humanoid that you can interact with. We have touch screens and we can order our food that way or
yeah,
pay for
they
a car
already
wash.
yeah, they already train the society already trained us to be our own cashiers.
Right. We're our own cashiers, we're our own bus staff, and we're our own waiters. The only thing we're not doing is cooking the food and creating the advertisements, and cleaning up, really, taking the trash out. But this would be very beneficial in situations like auto manufacturing. Any sort of assembly line production. Sorting and counting. Your production lines can move a lot faster if something is using a photo eye to count. Things like that. Maybe even search and rescue. Think about something that can go into areas where a chemical gas can't affect it, or low oxygen can't affect it, or extreme heat or extreme cold, or it's not. It can be a bullet sponge. Like unless it's just designed to absorb impacts, whatever. Those things, they would probably be good at if they came up with battery technology that would work with it, where it was independent.
That's what I was about to say. It's like, that's the reason for the cable that we were talking about. I just don't know. Like, I don't think we have anything that small that will last a decent amount of time. Granted, like I'm thinking of along the lines like a electric forklift. Granted, this thing is a lot bigger than the robot, so it shouldn't need that much power. But then you got to think too is wouldn't it need a lot of power to actually operate? There's a lot of systems in play that needs that power, and I don't think we would make that small of a battery pack for them.
Right.
They won't last that long.
Yeah, here you go, right here. Search and rescue robots, helping to save lives. They're talking about some important stuff right now, but copyright and demonetization is making me not unmute it.
Right. We already had a couple short videos. This whole thing would be, well, what do we got to lose, $1?
Yeah, fuck it.
County Judge Bob Herbert called the shots as emergency crews and volunteers rescued more than 49,000 people. He's grateful for the help from Dr. Murphy and the robots.
They do things that we humans
Dr.
can't do.
Murphy and the Robots. If that's not a band name by the end of this episode.
Deployed in global disasters like the September 11th attack, Japan's tsunami, Mexico City's earthquake, and Hawaii's Kilauea volcano eruption.
This is Bujol. She was one of the robots that was used at the World Trade Center.
Each robot has a different specialty. Bujol is used to find survivors in a collapsed building.
She can change her shape.
These robots can squeeze into tight, dangerous spaces, going faster and farther to bring back life-saving information.
We believe that robots being the difference between life and death, it's now getting unethical not to use them.
In the future, Dr. Murphy believes an army of robots will become a critical part of every emergency response. Tammy Leitner, NBC News, College Station, Texas.
Hey, NBC News.
I'm sorry, but that's just cool.
Yeah.
Like that's just cool. Like, especially in a situation like that, where it's like they said, the World Trade Center, it's like this little tiny robot can get into all those little cracks and crevices. Imagine when they like perfectly roboticized, like the form of like a cat or some kind of like weasel or ferret, and they like drop this thing in and it scurries all through there and it can get in the tightest little corners or even go smaller than that, a mouse. You know what I mean? Did you guys check out the new Microsoft mouse? Yeah, you just drop it. Yeah.
Oh,
We'll be thinking that we're talking about one of these, and it's like, no, it's a robot.
robot mouse.
I worry about is they still are like trying to figure out nanobots. That's what I worry about, because I'm like, I don't believe that it'll like a robot uprising would be like the Terminator. I think it would be like tiny little BB sized robots that can just get into anything.
I remember them talking about that because they help attack like cancer cells.
Yeah.
That are in like difficult spots to have surgery to at least help it along, like the cancer treatment,
Right.
to see like keep it at bay. Like when you hear stuff like that, you're like, yes. If that's the only thing that it's going to be used for. But
Right.
for a fact somebody's going to weaponize it where it's like these just it's so tiny it's like dust and you just throw it up in the air. The guy like you sniff it and it like literally goes to your like heart or something.
Yeah.
It's like that's
Yeah,
the kind of
it's
shit that like fucking scares you.
there's like some artist
Yeah, you're mute.
representations here.
You guys will be happy to know the band name is not taken currently. So
Yes.
I was looking it up. I can't find anybody registered. I looked for tour dates and everything. The Dr. Murphy and the Robots band tour, there's nothing. So you guys listening out there, if you've got like a, I guess it'd be like probably sounds ska or punk
I don't know.
or
Yeah.
rockabilly,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that it's Murphy.
Dr.
Alive,
Murphy.
You're alive. You're coming with me.
Right. That was my first thought too. That's where I thought he was going, was RoboCop, but he didn't. He surprised me. He took a left turn on us there, didn't he?
Dr. Murphy and the Robots.
Yep. That's a great
bam. Nanobots. This is the artist representation of it, going in and finding that pesky cold sore germ and just now. You can see it's got the little legs there where it grabs onto it, and it's like got the little doohickey there where it sticks it in there, and it
a little drill thingy
kind of like just kills it right on the spot and gets that bad shit out. And then at the end of it, you just take yourself a nice big poop and poop out multi-billion-dollar nanobots, and maybe even accidentally flush the little fellas. I don't know.
No, you take you take a shit, like you take a shit and then you have to wait, and then the nanobots like climb out like and then they go back.
What if the nanobots just know their way back to the hospital? They just use the sewage line and they work their way through the water.
Yeah.
And there's like a little like decontamination thing that's coming out of the wall, and the nanobots just fall out, and they like, they're taking their little bath. And they're like, they're
what's up, Jerry?
Everything clean. They're like, that's a hard day's work, boys. We just cured the fucking shit out of that guy.
Woohoo!
Yeah, they high five their little thingies.
Yeah.
That'd be cool as hell. Or you get that one nanobot that's not as bright as the rest, and
lazy piece of shit.
He just goes in there, and everybody's like, "All right, boys, we got this incurable disease, so we're just gonna take it out cell by cell. Everybody, follow me." And he got that one in the back, and he's. And then he just starts, just taking out your white blood cells or something. He's like, "There's one."
It's Philip the Nanobot.
Yeah, Philip.
Yeah.
And back at the hospital where they're watching him on the monitor, they're like, "Oh, Jesus." Hey, I thought we patched Philip. No, dude, we forgot to Patch Phillip, are you kidding me? Yeah, it was a busy night. We had a lot of stuff going on. Yeah. We didn't expect smallpox. What's the worst that can happen? Well, I mean, he's taken out a lot of their white blood cells. So
I just want to know how they would propel themselves.
they swim. They're like,
Okay.
you
They're
know
like
what I mean?
twins.
They're like, let's go. And you're just sitting there. You're just sitting there reading your paper. You're reading my paper. You don't even nothing. Yeah. Oh,
Oh,
ooh. Some yard sales this weekend. Gonna be shopping for some bargains. Meanwhile, Dr. Murphy and the robots are in there just fucking knocking that shit out of your system.
Dr. Murphy and the robots. We've got to go ahead and make this a fake band.
Yeah.
And
an
record
AI
something.
band.
And record something. Yeah, that's going to be amazing.
And then you could download it at home and listen to it with the new AirPods with subwoofer. Did you guys see that? Did you guys see the comment from Ernie on one of the videos? He was like, every time you guys put that on the screen, all I can think is this huge butt plug. Like, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
we did that. But this is cool though. I mean, this is what they want to do. They want these little bitty robots to go in and, fix stuff, I guess. I don't know. But what if it turns out to be like the ultimate, like the ultimate way to do it? You know what I mean? How many years have we been working on cancer? I mean, too many, but
yeah.
How many years? And I mean, I'm not gonna fault them. They're making steps. But
yeah,
get something like this in there, and it's like, or like, what if it's one of them things where it's like, hey, it's an aggressive cancer, and we're gonna inject these in you, and you're gonna live the rest of your life. Because as much as it's trying to do, they're in there getting rid of it. And every couple of years, you're going to come in and we're going to give you a new shot of them that are going to stay with you and help. Yeah, that would be cool.
That would be cool, but I hate to say it, but it's when we're talking about like medical reasons.
Oh yeah,
that just like that gives me it's going to be expensive.
I wonder what the cost is going to be of a nanobot. I'm going to try to find that out.
That would be so expensive because of how tiny it is.
Yeah.
And how like in a way, how smart do you think it would have to be to do the jobs that we're talking about?
Okay, so check this out. Found an article here. DNA-based nano robot to fight cancer. New concept proposed by ITMO University researchers. This is the first ever nanobot to combine two functions: cancer diagnostics and treatment. It's made of DNA fragments. The nano-sized robot detects the pathogen RNA strand in the gene and destroys it so cancer cells stop multiplying. And it cost a whopping $20. I don't think it's nanobots that stay with you. I think it's injected. It serves its purpose, and then it's somehow gathered up, or they just whatever. That's the whole thing. I wonder. It's like, what? How do you get them back?
I mean, why would you need to though? If they're only $20?
Yeah,
because if it costs $20 to make, they're going to hit us for like 10 grand per.
It says here that the DNA-based nanorobot consists of two parts: detection part and a therapeutic part. I cannot pronounce her name, so I'm not even going to try. The therapeutic part destroys the pathogenic RNA strand. The more we destroy it, the less harmful protein is produced. The second part of our robot allows us to detect pathogenic cells. If there's an incorrect RNA molecule in the cell or substance binds with the chemically modified oligonucleotide, don't know if I'm saying that right, which is artificially introduced to the cell to cleave it, and then a fluorescence occurs. The significant advantage of this concept is the price. The creation of such nanorobots for a laboratory is around 15 to 25 USDA.
That's reasonable, honestly.
Yeah.
But like I said, you think about when you go to the hospital, a Tylenol, a single Tylenol
Yeah.
costs you what, $200-300?
Yep.
For
Yeah.
pennies.
Oh,
I can't remember the markup percentage. It was like 300 to 600% markup.
Yeah.
Like the IVs, they
Mhm.
cost like less than $1.
Yeah.
And you pay like $150 for that, $200.
Yeah. It's crazy. But I mean, this could be like a big thing,
The way you were saying it was when you're reading it, will this detect if you have the strand of that could start, like, you could develop cancer? Like, it's like a pre-detection before you actually have cancer? Could it actually do that?
Yeah, there's a rDNA strand that produces it, that basically sends the cell into a frenzy and starts reproducing, and that's how the tumors and stuff happen.
That would be nice to like that to do that to if you feel like say like per se your family you have a family history of cancer, you
Yeah.
actually could get these nanobots to check you to see if there's a potential chance, like for so many, like if it's a yearly thing or what, just to see if they detect anything before it even happens.
So
Because
Yeah.
normally you can get, if you can get to it in time, you can cure cancer pretty quickly if you knew it was there, but it just sprouts up so quickly. Most people can't even have time to even do anything about it.
So, like I've said already in this episode, depending on what part gets cut forever, people are going to weaponize it. People are going to weaponize it. If it's only $20 to make a nanobot, think of like what's the word I'm looking for? Assassins.
Yeah.
Think about the implications of something like that. That a nanobot that could be trained and programmed to go do whatever in the body, so you could literally take out foreign leaders by just shooting this thing into a window, and it puffs out like a spore. As soon as it breaks, it spores, and if they inhale it, everybody in the room is going to die. And it may not happen immediately. Like they'll just think whatever, and then 2 days later they just don't wake up or something.
Yeah.
That's maybe I'm just being too dark about this, but man, that's a fucked up thing to think about.
I think it's realistic because the nanobot could technically make it look like anything happened to you.
Right.
And it would check out scientifically.
Yeah.
Like they would be examining you and it would look like that's what happened because it is what had happened, I mean, imagine a grouping of nanobots. It would take a bunch of them because we're talking about a nanoscale here, which is down way below the micron scale.
Yeah.
And a bunch of these things could just get into one of your main arteries and just be like, okay, boys, pile up.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you have a heart attack. And then later they're like, well, his arteries are clear, but he clearly had a heart attack. This is weird. Well, it's not like they're going to be like, must have been nanobots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just looks at the camera. Like, why is there a camera?
Yeah. The miniaturization and fabrication, it says, designing and fabricating nanobots on the nanoscale is the most significant technical challenge. Everything has to be created on a smaller than micron scale, as like power source, sensors, actuators, control mechanisms. Some people are theorizing that eventually the nanobots will basically be started with a charge, as little as a static charge. But once they're in your bloodstream, they would be running off of your own bioelectronic, like your bioelectric pulse.
That's kind of cool.
Because it would be really, really hard and dangerous to create a micron-sized power source, for these things.
Yeah.
You would be a battery.
And misfires are like, eh.
So like maybe we're worried about the wrong AI. Maybe we're completely missing the mark, being scared of these great big robots that can hand you an apple. And maybe instead we need to be concerned with the stuff you can't see. I just triggered so many conspiracy theorists if they hear that.
Right.
And that's going to be nightmare fuel for them.
And people say I'm weird for hating spiders, because spiders are small and they're tiny and they can kill the fuck out of you. That's what I'm like. That's why I'm scared of them. I don't like them. Like, because I could be just sitting right here and just a little one, just like, I don't know, like some crazy poisonous one, just like, I'm like,
yeah. I mean, honestly, a black widow is not very big.
Yeah.
They're about the size of a nickel for anybody that's never seen one. Because, not everybody sees this stuff. Not everybody lives in an area where you're going to see them. Brown recluses and black widows are not big spiders. They're really easy to miss.
Brown recluses are very, very noticeable because all the ones I've ever seen were pissed. Like they're actively trying to defend themselves.
Right.
And I'm like, hey, you don't got to worry about me, man. I don't want nothing to do with you. Take the shoe, you son of a bitch. Oh God, that was the scariest, dude. I back at my old house, I had this vent above my computer desk and stuff, and I was down there working on something, and out of the vent fell a brown recluse and just landed on my hand. And I literally was like I just froze. And I'm like, and as soon as he fell off, I grabbed something and just started beating the shit out of the table, trying to kill it. I got him, but oh my God. Because them things, they have their bite is necrotic.
Yep.
So you bites you, this little tiny bite, and it just ends up being a big hole where it just rotted your flesh away.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure there's one in Tyler's room right now.
I mean, statistically speaking, there has to be.
Yeah. Yeah. If you're in Tyler's room, you're within at least 3 of them. That's what I read. I read that in an article. It said Tyler specifically. Tyler Stewart specifically.
oh God.
It even gave me your social security number because it was like
so accurate.
It's just crazy accurate. Yeah. This would be the worst time for a spider to land on Tyler, I think. I feel like that would be. It's like, ah! Or if his computer froze right at the same time, he's like, yeah. God, I don't know. Could you imagine it though? Like little spider nanobots just crawling all over you when you're sleeping and you wake up and you're like, oh God, I'm Tyler. Oh, jeez.
I'm Tyler.
What? Oh God, they're all over me. Yeah. I'm just sitting back and watching the chaos ensue over there. You looking around?
Yeah.
Checking the corners?
Checking the corners. The crabby thing, what scares me the most is that I can't see it, but I know it sees me.
Oh, yeah. They got great vision, too. They study you for weeks before making their move. I made that up. I have no idea. I don't know shit about them. Like, I don't know what they do. Yeah. I used to have orb weavers like on my front porch. And
Those are beautiful.
every year, man, it was like the mother would have all the babies, and I guess she would go off and Charlotte's Web it, like just die somewhere, and then a new daughter would be there, and it would just be like a whole new beautiful spider, and I would grab moths and throw in the web. Like, like, you got to eat.
Right.
I was like, I don't mind those because they don't really do anything. They're perfectly content to just hang out on their web and never be around you. Yeah.
Our version. Now the
Yeah.
ones they have in Australia will kill you.
Yeah. See, that's where I'm like, no thanks.
Yeah.
Dude, the snakes will kill you. The fucking, well, what freaks me out? The animal that actually freaks me out, I've decided. The black mamba. I have no legit reason to be worried about this snake at all, right?
Say, we're not exactly in even the climate area.
No,
Did it
not
make
even
sense?
close. But every video I've ever watched, this thing is like super big. It's long as hell, and it's aggressive as shit. People talk about how they've had them chase them and shit. And I'm like, nah, man.
No shit. So they chase you like a black racer does?
Yeah, fuck racers too. Not a big fan of them either.
At least with racers, they just want to get past you. They chase you to scare you.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, it's like the big rat snakes and stuff, like barn snake. You know what I mean?
Oh, those things get huge.
They get huge, but they're so lazy and slow moving. And we lost Tyler. He froze a while ago.
Yep.
And they're so lazy and whatever that they don't bother me.
Yeah.
But the black racer, it moves so goddamn fast that it creeps me out. Because it's and I'm just sitting there and maybe it's because it reminds me of the black mamba.
I mean, it makes sense.
Those things creep me out. Thought the spiders got you, Ty. Your computer needs nanobots.
I've never actually seen a black racer snake, but I've seen blue racers.
Yeah.
And they're fast as hell too.
I actually seen a dead blue racer a while back.
Really?
Yeah, it was on 27. Actually, it took me a minute before it registered what the hell it was. Because you barely ever see them. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. Took me a second. If anybody out there, maybe we can get a picture of one. This is a crazy ass snake that lives here. And let me try to get a good picture of one here for you. Yeah, here's one. It's a crazy snake, and they live up to their name. They are fast as shit. And I'm gonna put him in there. There he is in all of his glory. Blue racer. And man, they freaking move like an arrow shot out of a bow, man. They are so fast.
Yeah, I seen one in person down in the mountains one time, and I could not fucking believe how fast they are.
It's nuts. They're
Actually,
so quick.
I think I found a really good video of it. If you guys want me to throw it up here,
Yeah.
Why not? We're on the fucking demonetization spree right now.
Yeah. Look at him, man.
He's a big one too. Finding his exit. Look at him go. Wow.
That's crazy. It didn't even keep up with him on my end. It was too grainy to even see him. Yeah. That's nuts, man.
Apparently, the black racers are a little faster.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm
That's
gonna look it up.
crazy.
That's what that thing just said there. I'm gonna look it up.
Here's a video where this dude's old. That's the fastest guy alive. Check this out. Look, he's just hanging out with it. What's up, man? It's got to be cold or something, you know? Like, hold on, let's go back here.
Thousands of years and are a vital part of our natural heritage.
There he
This
is.
is the blue racer. One of the largest snakes we have in Ontario. They are, like you see here, typically a very uniform gray color on the back. They have a little bit of that
So cool.
blue sheen to the sides. They can be more blue or less blue. It really depends on the individual, but they always have kind of a more cream belly, kind of a little bit of a blue tinge as well. And if you look at the head, you get a close enough look at it. They have a black mask around their eyes, and they have a brown nose and that really white cream chin.
I wonder if it shows him like
Nestled in the
moving.
western basin of Lake
For these little snakes, and it can be a big loss to the population. All of the mice around your farm, and they take care of a lot of.
It doesn't show him like actually moving.
So I just looked up these snakes. All right, check this out. A blue racer can get over 4 miles an hour. Black racers, 8 to 10 miles per hour.
Wow.
Right.
Because we had down at the camper, we had a little black racer that was coming out every now and again, and dude, it creeped me out, like legitimately creeped me out how fast that son of a bitch would move back and forth. It was like, God damn.
Right.
You know, we always called them Kyles. There was Big Kyle and Little Kyle. You know?
Yeah.
And Big Kyle was awesome. He was like big, fat, lazy. You know, I remember like when I first seen him, he was like getting into stuff, and I'm like, I should probably kill this snake so it doesn't get in and eat all the chicken eggs, you know?
Right.
And when I was like going to, and then I had a change of heart because when he saw me, he was like, and then he's like, and then he stopped to see if I was still chasing. Like, and I'm like, I'm sitting here watching, like, man, you are not escaping anybody. I'm not even going to do this. I'm letting you go. You know, he was just one of the family around the farm. Yeah. Loved to visit Kat all the time when she was taking care of her goats. Yeah. Like, Kyle. He was on the fence. Like, he was that big around, dude. Like, he was a big boy. He was on the fence, like, just, you know, going somewhere, you know, very, very slowly. And she said she looked and was like, oh my God. You know.
Would you rather have Kyle or is it a groundhog or what's under your house?
Okay, so I'm still in this weird moral debate right now about the groundhog, because I told you guys about the raccoon thing, right?
At your new house?
Yeah.
No.
Okay, so on my cameras, 2 raccoons came out of the woods and went under the house. And then there was a huge battle underneath the house. And then 2 raccoons were hauling ass away from my house. I didn't know this at the time, but groundhogs hate raccoons. And apparently groundhogs are quite a bit tougher than a raccoon. I didn't know that either.
I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah. So whatever this groundhog did, it sounded like they couldn't get out from under this house fast enough to get away from it. It was straight up like panic, fleeing. And the groundhog was he was, he just fucking hates raccoons, I guess. I don't know, but I'm like, damn, man, if my chickens are safe, like he kind of has the same policy that I do about them.
Yeah.
But I mean, he is a fucking groundhog and he's under the house. So I'm like,
yeah,
damn I hate it.
If he was just out in the pasture or something, it wouldn't be a big deal, but he's undermining,
Yes.
And I'll tell you something else too. A lot of people don't know is groundhogs will climb a tree.
Oh, I could see that. Yeah, I could totally see that.
They climb trees all the time. And my uncle was actually attacked by one. It jumped out of the tree. It jumped out of the tree and bit him.
Damn. Okay. So groundhogs are badasses. Like they'll straight go for it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. They full send.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's a damn it looks like they look like a beaver.
Sort of, yeah.
Like it's like a
Without
tree beaver.
Tail.
Yeah. Yeah, or a dirt beaver. I don't know. I can't come up with a good one for that, but some kind of beaver.
Yeah.
Would you actually call that a tail or more of a flipper?
It's like a paddle.
Paddle.
Like paddles a little beehive. Yeah, he like
doesn't don't they use it to like flatten out their when they're building?
Yeah.
Or is that just in cartoons?
Probably just in cartoons, because I can't imagine using it to smack sticks.
Hey, it's like,
they might. I don't know. You guys are going to get me on another journey of searching animals.
They're the animal kingdom. But not beaver.
Does it know my name? That
one alone.
Yeah.
Does it know my name?
Tyler, help me, Tyler.
Of course it does.
Tyler, I'm a not beaver. Who do you think would win a fight, a groundhog or a beaver?
I don't know. I'm trying to find.
They're both pretty tough. I guess the groundhog's smaller than a beaver.
So apparently, on Call of the Wild Man, a beaver smacks a show host in the face with his tail. So apparently, they use their tail for more than just
swimming.
Just swimming, yeah.
It's like their combat. Hold on, I got some footage here of Gregory, the groundhog under my house. I'm gonna bring up for you guys. Here he is. All right, yeah. Let's see here. This is actual footage of Gregory when he sees a raccoon.
You see, I didn't know you were in the mountainous regions of Ohio there, Denny. That's
as you can see, he's it's a long story. You know, he actually went to this play when he was a kid with his parents, and 2 raccoons shot his parents, and he became a vigilante.
Bat beaver?
Bat hog.
Yeah, bat hog.
Yeah. So ever since then, he's, I'm like, when I first heard the noises of him, I was like, "What are you?" And he was like, "I'm Justice." And I was like, "Okay." Yeah, I went back to sleep.
He's like on like the top of your house, like leaning over.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Tell you, when we first moved in, for the first couple of weeks, it was all quiet. You know, lay down at night, man. It's like, oh my god, here we are, our little farmhouse. We're happy, loving it. And then in the middle of the night, one night, we hear this, and we're like,
The fucking noise get canceled out. That's great.
and you're like, what the hell is that? What the hell is that? And it's like there's this groundhog cocaine party going on under the house.
Groundhog cocaine party.
They're just going ape shit, just partying down, and yeah. I don't know. It was wild though. I gotta end this one though, guys. I gotta get going. I didn't even realize how late it was getting.
Oh shit! Yeah.
You know how it gets when you're talking about black races and cocaine party, groundhogs, and lose track of time.
That's I tell you right now, that's a title for the last half of this episode. Cocaine party, groundhog.
Yeah, dude. Groundhog, cocaine party, and black racers.
Yeah,
freaking awesome. All right, I guess if you guys don't have nothing else to add, I'm gonna say goodbye to everybody out there.
No, I think that's a high note to end on.
Yeah. See you soon on the next one. Take care of each other.
Mwah.
See you guys.
I just wanted to add one thing, fellas, that I normally won't add. This is the original Campfire Show.